He became a father figure to me. Some of us tunafuata footsteps zake.
Today, we focus on a moment when laughter paused and respect took center stage. On a day when Kenya lost one of its most recognizable public figures, comedian Eric Omondi stood up and made his tribute more than a post. He made it a message. This is the story of how Eric Omondi honored Baba, the many layers of that act, what it meant for him, and what it meant for the country. Let's dive in. Eric Omondi is a household name in Kenya, a comedian, entertainer, social figure with a sharp wit and large audience. But behind the smiles is someone whose public persona also includes a personal belief, social commentary, and community presence. When RailaOdinga died at age 80, the news cut across political lines and public divisions. The man known as Baba had been present in many Kenyans' lives in symbolic, culture, and family ways. For Eric, the loss triggered a response that was personal, immediate, and visible. Eric's tribute began with a video posted on social media. He visited Baba's family home and shared a footage of himself with the Odinga family. According to reports, he posted, "Visited our mom this morning to mourn with her. Let's keep her and the family in our prayers. They need every strength in the world. Rest well, Baba." He captioned a photo of Raila and himself, demonstrating a connection that many felt but few expressed so publicly. This matter-of-fact message is powerful for several reasons. First, he chose a presence over commentary. He went to the family home rather than just posting a sympathy tweet. Secondly, he named Raila as Baba, a term of endearment and respect, showing the relationship was more than political. He called for prayer and support of the family, shifting focus from biography to empathy and care. Why does this matter? Firstly, in a moment of national grief, celebrities can go many ways: silence, opportunistic statements, performative posts. Eric's actions stands out because it was simple, human, and grounded. Secondly, Eric Omondi history with Raila adds a context. While his primary craft is comedy, he has engaged with Raila's presence in Kenya in other moments, such as when previously advised a public figure to kneel before Raila in recognition. These actions tell us Eric had regard for Raila beyond politics, possibly as a cultural figure, a public father figure, someone whose influence reached beyond policy. Thirdly, the audience response. Kenyans on social media noted the sincerity. They saw the video, the post, and many shared comments like, "This is how we honor our own." It sparks conversation not just about Raila's legacy, but about how public figures should respect loss and legacy. Now, let's unpack what Eric's tribute reveals about our culture and our celebrity responsibilities. First, respect and legacy. By publicly acknowledging Raila's death and honoring his family, Eric helped shape the narrative of how Kenyans might respond to significant loss. Secondly, cultural symbolism. The term Baba and the image of Kenyans rallying around the family suggests Raila had become more than a politician, a father figure, icon, cultural landmark. Eric's tribute mirrored that. Celebrity and empathy. In a world of social media noise, what stands out is authenticity and a presence. Eric's act was not flashy, it was personal. That personal element fosters a connection, cross-sector solidarity. Eric comes from entertainment, Raila comes up from politics. The bridge between the two shows how national identity and public mourning transcend sectors. Conversation starter. His tribute spurred comments, posts, dialogues about how we honor public figures when they depart, how much we move beyond rhetoric to action, and what that action looks like. In short, Eric's tribute is a case study, how a comedian turned a presence maker in a moment of national transition. So what should we remember from this episode? That the act of tribute is not just about words, it's about movement, gesture, presence. Eric moved himself from stage humor to front row respect. That public figures are watched when things change, when an elder dies, when a cause shifts. What they do in those moments tell us what they believe. That legacy is built before death and honored after. Eric honored someone whose legacy had already permeated culture, community, and media. The tribute helped reinforce that legacy. That in Kenya today, celebrities have roles not just in entertainment, but in cultural memory. Their responses matter. That we, as audiences, are part of the conversation. The way we receive the tribute, react to it, discuss it, that shapes the narrative going around. As we close, reflect on these. When a beloved figure like Baba passes, we don't just lose a person. We lose a presence, an idea, a reference, a point. In the grief that follows, someone like Eric Omondi stands for something more. The reminder that tribute is a continuing act, not just a moment. Let us remember Eric's gesture. Let us remember the words he shared. And let us remember what it means when one generation honors the next. Rest well, Baba. And thank you, Eric Omondi, for showing one way we might honor you, with presence, respect, and a voice. But Eric Omondi's tribute didn't stop with that single visit. In the days that followed, he continued using his platform to highlight Baba's legacy, not politically, but personally. He spoke about how RailaOdinga inspired resilience and consistency, two values that also define Eric's long journey in comedy. If you think about it, these two men, though from very different worlds, share one trait: persistence. Raila spent decades pushing for democracy and fairness. Eric has spent over a decade pushing boundaries in entertainment, reinventing himself every few years. So, when Eric spoke about Raila's strength, it hit differently because he wasn't just speaking as a fan, but as a fellow fighter. After his tribute went viral, social media lit up. Fans across TikTok, Instagram, and X praised Eric for showing real emotion. People commented, "This is the side of Eric Omondi we rarely see." Others said, "He's not just a comedian, he's a human being who feels deeply." These moments helped remind people that celebrities are not disconnected from national emotion. They too feel the same pain when a figure like Baba is gone, because such a loss cuts across tribes, careers, and even ideologies. Another touching moment came when Eric was seen comforting some fans outside the Odinga home in Karen. Eyewitnesses described how he paused to greet people, share hugs, and even take pictures with those mourning. It wasn't about publicity. There were no lights, no staged cameras, just Eric, his emotions, and the people. Moments like these transform public grief into unity. They remind us that we are all part of something bigger. Whether you supported Raila or not, that day showed a shared Kenyan heartbeat. Eric Omondi has always used his voice, sometimes to make us laugh, sometimes to make us think, and sometimes to spark change. But in honoring Raila, he modeled what we might call celebrity leadership. He didn't grandstand or campaign. He simply showed empathy. And in a generation that often measures up value in views and followers, that quiet act of presence is worth more than 1 million likes. Through this, Eric reminded every public figure that fame should be used not just for entertainment, but also for empathy. As the days go by, more tributes will fade, more headlines will shift, but the image of Eric Omondi, Kenya's top comedian, standing quietly beside a mourning family, will stay with many of us, because in that moment, he wasn't trying to be funny or loud. He was simply human, and that, more than anything, is how we truly honor Baba's legacy. This was more than just a goodbye. It was a reminder: kindness, unity, and respect will always outlive politics and fame. This is Celebrity Talk, where we bring you the top trending stories about your celebrities here in Kenya.